Pod Chef. Pod Chef. You're listening to Pod Chef. When I say pod, y'all say chef. Pod Chef. You're listening to Pod Chef. That's a podcast about Top Chef, and that's a broadcast. It's on TV, and you can watch it. They got 23 seasons, that's a lot, kid. But you can skip those. We do recaps about the whole show. I'm talking food, yo, and some other stuff. Yeah. You're now listening to Pod Chef, the official podcast of the TV show Top Chef, with your hosts, Bryan, Jamal, and Reaves. And I only said their first names because I don't know everyone's last name, and I'm trying to be polite. Now enjoy the show.
Welcome to Pod Chef, the official Top Chef podcast. I usually say right here, with me as always is my co-host Reaves, but Reaves is not here yet. And that's not, I'm not complaining. I would never complain about my co-host. But I will complain.
Sounds... Sorry.
There's
interrupting.
No, that's good. There's a voice. People are like, well, wait a minute. Someone's there. And so this is where
Reaves.
I say, not Reaves, and not Reeves's co-host, Bryan. Instead, we have another guest because this is a live season. So we actually have guests now because we're trying again. And this week's guest is the immortal, I can say that, Kate Symes. Kate Symes is here.
Yeah, I'm going to live forever.
Yep.
Immortal.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Jamal.
You're filling in big shoes. Actually, little shoes. I think they both have smaller shoe sizes.
Tiny shoes.
Yeah.
Sure.
And there's no
that sounds
pressure.
Right.
That's the great thing about this podcast. There's no pressure to really add anything. I've never felt that pressure, so I don't want you to feel that pressure.
Hey, I'm going to take a nap.
She's starting already, folks. Tell me, for those who are listening who are like, who's Kate Symes? What would you say to that?
Oh, how long do we have for my intro? Okay, great. That should be enough. I'm a human woman who lives currently in Washington, D.C. I work in software sales. That's probably what people really want to know about me.
Yeah.
What kind of software do I sell?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me tell you. Here's the pitch. I do improv comedy. That's how I know you and Bryan and Reaves. And I do other stuff.
Yeah,
I do
we
a
all
lot
do
of
other stuff. Yeah.
I'm very cool, if anyone's wondering about that.
That was obvious. Do you like food? Do you like cooking?
So here's the thing. I used to cook a lot in my younger years, and I love food. I have really dropped off of the cooking part of food in the last, honestly, probably since the pandemic. I went in the opposite direction. Everyone else started making sourdough bread, and I just got into DoorDash.
Yeah, you DoorDash sourdough bread?
I DoorDash sourdough bread. I DoorDash the starters. And
I was about to ask.
Those.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you still like food, you just don't like the act of cooking it yourself.
It's not that I don't like it. In a perfect world, I think I'd get back to giving myself enough time to cook. But I definitely do not do that now. Whenever I do find myself cooking something, I'm like, oh, this is so great. I love it. I used to have signature dishes.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, what would be one of those dishes that brings you joy when you are cooking? You're like, oh, I gotta cook this more often.
I used to make really good Parmesan roasted potatoes. I know that sounds less.
That sounds so good.
But kind of like cheesy potatoes. Yeah, they were so good. Are
you dicing those bad boys in big chunks?
Yeah, kind of like bite bite size.
Oh,
I
so
don't
you're just
know.
biting and crunching them after they get a crust on them in the oven?
Yes, and they get like a Parmesan crust, and there's rosemary in there, and it's a little red pepper flakes, and it's a little spicy.
So we can talk about rosemary because Brian's not here. He hates rosemary. It's
Okay.
a
Not
thing.
even in potatoes? It's such
That's
a
the
good
question I
flavor
asked.
combo.
That's what I asked. I said, not even in potatoes. They're like
Made for
coworkers.
it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
coworkers who sit next to each other. And you're saying you don't like each other? Like that makes no sense.
No, they are coworkers. They're like lemon and lime. Is
Yeah,
that? Oh,
yeah.
I
Sprite.
don't know.
Black
They're
people
like
call that
Sprite.
Sprite.
Oh, interesting. I've never used that word before.
Sprite.
Sprite. It's a new one.
Okay. What else? So you love the Parmesan potatoes, which I can get behind because I had those, I think, a couple months ago, and they were bussin', as they say, as the youth says.
Did you make them or
No,
did you?
I went to a house that was making them, and they pulled them out the oven, and they had that crispy circle
Oof.
around them, and I was just like, what did I do to deserve this? Like, did I just make the right choices and friends? Like, what
You
did I?
did.
Yeah.
You really did. Yeah. The way that I used to make them was almost like a shake and bake. Like you'd put all the potatoes and all the ingredients and a little bit of flour in a paper bag and
Mm,
shake it up. And then like melt a stick of butter in the 9 by 13 pan and then coat the potatoes.
yeah.
It was like, I think I did it a lot because it was easy and slightly impressive when it
Yeah.
came out.
Now you
But
shake them up. Does that to beat them up a little bit so they get that rough texture?
it was just to coat. It was like an easier way of
Oh,
coating
okay.
the potatoes with like the flour and the Parmesan cheese and all the spices.
Okay.
You could also just mix them in a bowl like that, but this was the laziest possible way to do it. And also like a little fun. You don't always prepare your dinner in a paper bag.
Yeah. And I feel like
So I
we
liked
lost
it.
that. We lost that part of our culture.
Culinary culture, yes.
Are you a
Um,
person who uses baking, I think it's baking soda in the water when you're boiling potatoes to help them
I have
become
not. Is that a
it like
thing?
yeah, like helps them I think it's baking soda. That helps them become more crispy when you roast them. It does something to the
Okay.
potatoes.
I have not done this, but
Well,
I'm going to. A
this
little
is
baking soda?
just a
Or
little bit like a teaspoon in the water
okay.
as they're boiling, and it does
Okay.
something to the starches that then
Uh-huh.
you can like do the thing you're doing with the bag, but also like
Yeah.
blister them a bit so they get real
Ooh.
crispy when you roast them.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, this is inspiring me to maybe cook again.
Well,
Um,
that's what this
I had
podcast
a
has been trying to do.
yes. I had a roast chicken recipe for that I was doing for a while that was also my go-to. I think roast, whatever. You put it in the big like Dutch oven
Yep.
and put a bunch of stuff around it
Yeah.
and yeah.
You put rosemary in that one too?
No, 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 no.
No.
That one was lemons, like whole wedges of lemons, dates, maybe oregano or
Now, are these good dates that you're putting in there? Or are you chucking all your bad dates in there?
ha ha ha. Yeah, the latter.
Okay,
All the
good.
bad dates, all the
Okay.
bad dates.
So
Yeah.
dates, lemons, what else?
I don't know, like I think the herbs were like I don't even remember. Thyme, oregano, like what you would get in like the poultry seasoning
Tarragon,
packet. Tarragon, maybe, yeah.
which
Um,
I don't know anything else to use with tarragon other than like a whole chicken.
yeah. I Tarragon, what I made used to make something else that would go in, and absolutely will not remember what it was, but it's a very specific flavor.
Yeah. And you have to be wanting that kind of tarragon. Is it savory? I don't know. But I haven't had it in so long. I don't even have a palate for it. I can't even recall it on my palate.
Yeah, it's not in a lot of stuff.
How long have you been doing improv?
For 17 years.
Okay, I didn't realize you were outshining me now, so I gotta edit that. I gotta edit
We
that out.
started at this. We started at the same time, I think. Right?
um,
2009. Is that
I,
math correct?
you're 2 years before me then.
Okay. I started in 2009. When I moved to DC, I took a class, and that's how and when I started. But I did take a break. I definitely did zero improv during the pandemic.
Welcome to the
So,
club.
yeah.
I
So it's
also
not
took a
actually
break.
17 years. It just spans
Yeah.
17 years.
I guess for me too, it's then technically 13 years.
Yep.
So I took like 2 years off, which, man, what a break that was. What a
good
great
for all
break
of
that
our
was.
mental health. Mostly the people who were having to watch us do improv before. They were like, thank God we get a break.
That would explain the low return in audiences. So, are you allowed to talk about this? I know that you're about to move.
Yeah, I'm allowed to. Yeah, there's no
Okay.
NDA on that.
Okay. Yeah. You're about to move to Chi-Town.
Chi-Town, right. The Windy City.
Yes. Is this work related, fun related?
It's a little bit of both. My job is remote and encompasses the Chicago area. And I was like, oh, if I can move and do my same job and have like financial stability, then I'd love to be in a city where I can do more improv. So it is spurred on by improv.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
So I've only been to Chicago once, but man, it's not one other improv city that I've liked so much when I visited than Chicago. So
Yeah, well, you'll have to come visit. There's a million DC people out there, I'm
yeah,
discovering.
well, 1,000,001 soon.
A million and one.
You guys are gonna have, you're gonna have your own enclave out there.
We're gonna take them over, yeah. And hopefully not. I'm trying to take over. I'm trying to take in some of their improv knowledge.
And do it like they want you to do it in Chicago.
I'm gonna try to do it like they want me to do it. Yeah.
Okay, that's one way to go about it, I guess.
Yeah.
So you watch Top Chef, you watched the episode for this recording, but are you an
I sure
actual
did.
fan of
Yeah.
Top Chef?
Yes. Huge fan. In fact, when I first moved to DC, I was watching this season with Bryan Voltaggio. I think it was actually both Voltaggio brothers, but Bryan had just won. And he had a restaurant in Frederick, Maryland at the time. And moving from the West Coast to DC, my most, like my top priority when I first moved was to go to that restaurant.
Was it Thatcher and Rye?
No, it was V.
That was before my time.
I think it was something, it was either V or it started with a V. It was very fancy, like foams and fine dining and all of that. It's no longer there. Then after that, he opened the place in the mall in Friendship Heights. Did you ever go there?
I never went. The only place I went to was his restaurant I think it's called Thatcher and Rye, or it was called that before it was in Frederick. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think that's what is it there now?
I don't think it's still there. I think they have a different restaurant now. I could be wrong, but I know they're opening up a new like steakhouse, I think, in that area or something. So
he's got a place in MGM Harbor. Jesus. Yeah, it was Volt. It was called Volt.
That makes sense.
But yeah, Thatcher and Rye replaced Volt. Yeah, and so I've been a fan. I would say I've watched every season, like some more intensely than others. Yeah, I've watched since the beginning, and like very fun to see Kristen become the host, and I feel like part of the family.
Okay. And how many times did I ask you to come on the podcast and then it not happen and you thought it wasn't going to happen?
I think you've asked it twice, once, maybe.
I
Not
think
that
I've asked
many
4
times.
times. I've asked
I
4
was pretty
times.
convinced didn't have enough street cred. So I've been really trying to up my, I've been posting a lot about Top Chef. I've been telling
Mhm.
people, tell Jamal I'm really into Top Chef.
Okay. Well, that's
So it
kind of you to say.
worked.
Yeah, because people have
Yeah,
been telling me, "Hey, you should get Kate on. She's actually very nice and wants to talk about Top Chef." I was
that's
like,
right.
okay, I will. Please go away now,
See?
Bryan. Yeah,
Yeah, it was mostly Bryan. I did a big
yeah.
campaign to Bryan.
Oh, can we hold on once? I think I'm getting a phone call.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the Top Chef line. Is it okay if I'll just,
Oh,
I'll just put this on because it's coming in, but I'll let it go to voicemail. I don't know. I think it's Bryan calling. We'll just let it go to voicemail. It's fine. It's no big deal.
Hey guys, it's Bryan. I'm sorry to not be able to be there this week. As you know, I'm traveling. I'm in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky for the week. So sorry to miss the record. But I will let you know I'm in the airport and I ran into someone that I don't know why he's here, but I told he knew who I was. So of course he wanted to call you guys. So I'm gonna give him the phone. So hold on a second. Here, I'll take it. No. Well, hello there, boys. It's your favorite good Reverend, the Reverend Hun Gary of the Church of Food and Wine magazine. And what a surprise to run into your good friend Bryan here in the Louisville airport. I mean, I thought he lived in New Jersey, but he said he's here for business, but I don't know what that means. Now, you may be wondering, why, good Reverend, are you in Louisville, Kentucky? Is there even a Church of Food and Wine magazine here? And of course, there isn't. Maybe one day, but for now there isn't. I'm actually here because I was summoned by the courts of Kentucky to be a character witness in a certain Top Chef Kentucky winner's DUI trial. And I'm not going to say names, KBC, but let's just say that she's in a bit of hot water, and I'm here to speak on her behalf as a card-carrying member of my flock of the Church of Food and Wine magazine. Like I support all of my people, all of my congregation. So of course I'm here to speak on her behalf, even though she did, of course, get caught driving while under the influence, which in the Church of Food and Wine magazine is a bit of a sin. But you know what? Who doesn't sin? I know I do. I might not be driving drunk, but I might let my eyes wander. If you know what I'm saying. A little bit of the see some my neighbors. Maybe want to look over my neighbor's fence, take a look at his wife. I'm getting ahead of myself. But either way, all I'm here to do is be a character witness for her, let everyone know, spread the good word of the Church Food and Wine magazine. Reverend Hun Gary, your favorite white reverend. And again, if you have a spare moment, please spare a prayer for our good sister, KBC, as she faces some trials and tribulations, of course, in the court system. They had all them keep me out of there because of the separation of the church and state and all that. But food and wine, transcends church and state. Either way, boys, I gotta go. And Bryan says this, he's costing him extra time. He says that I'm paying for his minutes. I don't know what that means. Either way, boys. It's been. I'd really love to come on the episode sometime. You probably haven't asked me to come on in a long while. I feel like maybe you're embarrassed of your good friend, the White Reverend Hun Gary. But either way, I'm gonna let you go, and if you can call me, you can email me too. Of course, the email is White Reverend at Church of Food and Wine Magazine .rel. And that's REL for religion. All right, boys, I gotta go. Take care, and as always, God sends many blessings, food God, of course, down upon you and your beloved Pod Chef podcast. Blessings be. Bryan, here's your phone back. How do I turn this thing off? Okay. All right, guys. That was Reverend Hun Gary's wild scene. Either way, I gotta go. My Uber's here, and the guy looks upset, and it's probably because I have 100 bags. But you gotta travel light these days. So okay, I have to go, guys. Have a good episode. I love you. Bye.
Okay. That was longer than I thought it was going to be. Usually he leaves a very quick voicemail. If you have any questions, I can field them. I know you might not know some of the people who were on that phone call, especially the good Reverend.
I've never heard of that Reverend. Who's that?
Yeah,
Who's
so that's
that?
Reverend Hun Gary, spelled Hun space Gary.
Okay.
He's a black pastor in the South. He's been on our podcast. I think in the early couple seasons he came on and was talking about the Church of Food and Wine. So it's interesting that Bryan's traveling in the South and he'd run into him in the Louisville airport of all places, especially since they're known for KFC and Han Gary kind of looks like the Colonel himself. And if you're looking up this person, they're not real. They don't they don't have a Google, but they have been on the podcast, and so that's
who that is.
Yeah. Also, at the end, I apologize for Bryan saying "I love you." Bye. We have one of the rules of this podcast was that Tom Colicchio told us not to fall in love with one another, so that is actually a violation of that, and I'm sorry that you had to see that.
Oof.
Yeah.
What are you going to do to him now that he's violated it?
Well, we get messages and emails from Tom sometimes, so I'm sure next week, after Tom hears this episode, he'll have something to say. Yeah. And then I'll have to smooth things over again because that's the job of a leader, So
you got to lead, especially with these, people that you're leading.
Yeah.
Just. But obviously, love, the heart wants what it wants. So if Bryan loves you, then he's got to express it.
Well, he was saying it to me and Reaves, kind of like speaking to the podcast. It wasn't to me specifically.
Sure.
I'm positive. I hope. I'm positive. I can't juggle any more love.
No.
So
it's too much.
I apologize for you having to hear kind of podcast business on that phone call.
It's fun. I love a sneak peek into the BTS.
Thank you for being so cool. Rumors are true.
And really cool.
Yeah, the rumors are very true. You know what? Let's just switch gears and do a segment we do every week called Chefs I Prepared for You. This is a segment where we talk about what we had for dinner last night and only last night, and we present it as if we're presenting it to the judges on Top Chef. And then there will be a winner chosen at the end after a silent vote. Okay, I will go first to show you how this is done. Chefs I prepared for you. Crispy ground beef, garlic and onion brown rice, and sautéed kale with olive oil. With avocado oil, I'm sorry. And then now the floor is open for questions about the meal. If you have any questions.
Yes, I do. You said crispy ground beef or
crispy
ground beef. Do you mean did you make it into a patty of some kind, or you just crisped up the ground beef?
In batches to get it really crispy. I crisped up batches of ground beef to make them nice and crunchy and tasty. Yeah.
Okay. And then with the brown rice, did you say that was crispy as well?
No, that is garlic and onion brown rice.
Garlic and onion. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you added kale in, right?
Yep.
Roasted?
Sautéed kale.
Sautéed.
Kale
Okay.
with some avocado oil.
What's the texture on this overall? Because I'm hearing similar textures. Ground beef, rice. But
the ground beef was crispy, so it was crunchy.
Crunchy.
Then we had the brown rice, which was soft. You're thinking an oatmeal, almost like a risotto, but not, because it's hard to get for a brown rice. It is so hard to get that starch off there, I tell you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's
impossible.
So it's like a risotto.
This sounds
and then you
healthy.
Yeah, I'm back on my bullshit. I'm back on my bullshit.
Wait, did you have a sauce on it? Or was it just the flavor?
So I will say this, no sauce, but I've gotten peppers from an improviser. I'm forgetting Sean's last name, but Sean gave me peppers, and I'm dicing up these little bad boys because they are so hot. and I love spicy food, and I'm trying them one at a time. So I make these little healthy bowls, and then I just want some
Yeah.
heat. So I dice up these peppers and put them in, and man, they're kind of burning my face off.
That sounds. Are they like the little like Scotch bonnets or like
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yeah.
Love a Scotch
Yeah.
bonnet.
So very strong.
That sounds great. I love a bowl.
No
A bowl
sauce
is
though.
like that's okay. I think it sounds like you've got flavor in the garlic onion rice.
Yeah, there's flavor here. There's plenty of people who've tried these bowls and been like, wow, for healthy food, I thought this would be more bland. And I was like, yeah, that's why it's easy to eat it multiple times.
Yes.
But I am known as a dry boy because I don't often put sauce on my food.
You know what I'll do? Okay. I like a bowl like this, and every once in a while, I feel like it's really dry. I'll just drizzle a little olive oil over it. Are you opposed to that?
Not opposed to that, but I also have hot sauce. So if I do want to, I'll just put some hot sauce on it as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I got flavored
works.
hot sauce. So
you can make it more wet if you need to.
If I need to make it wet, I can.
You've got ways.
Yeah, I've got ways, and trust me, it happens.
It happens. Great. How long did it take you to make this?
So, just last night it was leftover, so I'd already done the big batch of it. But when I actually was cooking it on Sunday afternoon, we probably took like an hour and 15 minutes to batch cook all of them because the rice was like 40 minutes and cook the ground beef in batches.
This is great.
Yeah. So now
again, feeling inspired. Okay, so so I have to say, chefs I have prepared for you.
Only if you've prepared it. If you've bought something, you say procured.
Chefs I have procured for you.
Man, Bryan would love
this. An 8-piece grilled chicken meal from Chick-fil-A in the BWI airport in the A terminal, Chick-fil-A Southwest. Plus a side of waffle fries and a sauce of zesty buffalo.
Wow. So you technically had chicken and waffles, kind of.
Well, they were fries, but they're the waffle cut. I mean, I think that's what they're maybe going for, but they don't taste like waffles.
No, but you can make a waffle out of potatoes. Haven't you seen those Instagrams where they put all kinds of stuff in a waffle iron and then it pops out like...
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
Okay. So first things first, and I just got to get this out the way because everyone always has a reaction when I say this. I've literally never had Chick-fil-A. So I have to ask you questions about 8-piece, the sauce. How do you go about ordering on the menu?
Yeah. So I had never had Chick-fil-A till the past year, I want to say, and I've only ever had it in airports. I do not go seeking it, and I'm not proud of the fact that I had it last night. But I got to the airport. I had, 10 minutes before my flight. I looked at my options. The healthy option almost looked more disgusting than anything else. It was like, what is that? Like Naya Valley. There was some like Health Valley salad thing that just looked like wilted, disgusting lettuce. And I was
sitting
like, I
out
can't.
for a while.
Yeah, it was so unappetizing. And then it was like McDonald's and frickin', I don't know. It was bad. Bad news bears. And that's always the point of my airport journey where I go like, would it have been so hard to just make a bowl and bring it with me? No, but I didn't. So the 8-piece grilled chicken thing, I've done this. And let me say I've eaten at Chick-fil-A, I think 3 total times. But I noticed on the menu they had grilled chicken nuggets instead of the breaded and fried.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So, yeah, so it makes me feel like sort of healthy. They taste good. I mean, I'm sure there's like 100,000 grams of sodium and some other crazy thing in there. Their waffle cut fries are very mid, like
Yeah.
mid to slightly bad.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever in your life gotten a waffle fry and be like, oh my God, this is so good?
Okay. There's another fast food chain that makes them good. Is it like Jack in the Box or
Maybe.
who am I
I've never
thinking
had.
of?
I don't know.
You're so pure. You're so pure. What are you doing
I'm
with
not
your
pure. I've
life?
just never been to Jack in the Box. I've been to some fast food restaurants in my life. Burger King,
Prove it.
McDonald's,
Okay.
almost every pizza chain. But I don't
But
dabble in
not
the
J
chicken
and the
sandwich
B.
life.
Yeah. Jack in the Box, I think it might be more West Coast, actually. I don't know. We had one. I lived in Hawaii for a time when I was 21, and it was like
Okay.
kind of what we subsisted on was Jack in the Box.
Wow.
I think it might be the West Coast version of Sonic. Someone told me that once.
Oh, okay. I've been to Sonic, so I know Sonic.
And I've never been to Sonic. So do we have something in common?
Okay. So the sauce, the zesty barbecue, you said? Buffalo?
I think it was
Zesty buffalo?
Zesty Buffalo, yeah.
How do you make your pick on that?
Okay, in a moment of just pure panic, the lady, there's a line behind me. It's airport chaos.
Mm-hmm.
She's talking kind of quietly. She's like, "Do you want sauce with that?" And she had to repeat it a couple times. So when I finally was like, "Yes, I do," she said, "Which one?" And I was like, "What? Which ones are there?" And she pointed at a list. And I just looked down, and by then I felt just like very high pressure situation.
Yeah.
And I ruled out like ranch. I do not like ranch dressing.
Same.
Sue me. Hate it. Ranch was one. Barbecue was another. And I was like, that just sounds too sweet. I'm not interested in a sweet situation right now. And then my eyes just were like, zesty buffalo.
You saw zesty. You saw the word zesty. You're like, that's
and
it.
I think I wanted like a little spice. So I'm like, zesty, sure. The buffalo part, I was like, I don't even know what that is. What is that? What is it? And I still don't know.
I don't know either. I think it's supposed to have like a twinge of like buffalo barbecue type taste. I don't know. But
I know, but what is that?
I don't know.
That's the question.
Okay.
Yeah,
you know what?
It was okay. It was also just very okay.
But here's the thing. You should give yourself some grace here because you're in the airport, right? So your options are limited to what they've contracted out. And you did the most you could do, which was remove the breading from the chickens, get them grilled, get some waffle fries that are mid, and then find the only adjective that sparked your curiosity in the sauce list. So
zesty.
Yeah. So you did the brief. And were you full after?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
And then I promptly went and got a big share bag of peanut butter M&Ms, and I ate all of them.
See? Perfect. And you had dessert. Look at that.
I was full, but then I ate 30,000 peanut butter M&Ms.
And see, I'm just like hearing you have a full order at the airport. I'm very jealous because I rarely have the gall to order anything from a fast food place and then get on a plane.
Well, because you feel like you're going to be embarrassed?
I feel like it's going to churn my stomach to hell. Then I'm going to be like, excuse me, can I get up for a second? Can you get out for a second, please? And I'm just doing that for the flight.
You're not wrong that's a very distinct possibility. Two ways I get around that. Number one, this was only an hour-long flight. So I
Mhm.
wasn't too worried. And also, I always have an aisle seat. I'm up and down the
Okay.
whole flight, always,
Okay.
no matter what. Yeah.
I made that mistake once and I paid dearly for it of not making my aisle seat choice. And I was sitting in the window and I said to myself, you know what? You fly enough. You don't need to get up. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. And then I didn't get up. And then, boy, got in trouble medically with that.
Are you at liberty to?
Yeah, I can tell you. I got a blood clot in my leg from not getting up on the flight.
For how long? Well, for how long was the flight?
8 hours and 15 minutes.
No, you can't
Yes.
do that.
I know. And on top of that, I wasn't wearing any of my compression wear. And I was basically begging for this to happen.
Dude.
And I just told myself,
That's a long ass time to
I
not
know.
stand up.
And I paid for it.
So was it painful? How did you even discover that you had it?
So it wasn't painful. I just knew that when I stood up to get off the plane, it felt like when I stood up finally that I pulled a muscle in my calf. So it was like a little tiny twinge. And I was like, oh, that was weird. And I'm just walking around, and every so often I'd lean a certain way, shift my weight, and it would I could feel like soreness in my calf. And I was like, oh man, I must have really pulled a muscle. And it wasn't until 2 weeks later. So the whole week, I went to the gym, exercise, everything, came home for a whole week, went to the gym, exercise. But it was like that Saturday of the following week I came back, I went and played basketball, got my heart rate up really high, and then my legs started throbbing.
Oh my
And
God.
then I was like, something's going on here. So I thought I was just even then I was like, I think I just overdid it. So I went home. And then the next day I was walking around. I was like, why is my leg still sore? I must have really overdid it yesterday. So it wasn't until the Tuesday I was like, if this is soreness, it usually goes away. It doesn't seem like it's going away. So I went to the hospital and they're like, good thing you came in because you got a blood clot in your leg.
Oh my God. Wait, isn't that so dangerous?
Yeah. I mean, you could be talking to a ghost right now. Yeah. So, took care of that though. Mistake learned. Now, I just went to Europe, was it a month ago? I was up and down the miles. I was up and down
Good
the
for
miles.
you. Yeah. Because did they tell you oh, it's probably because you sat for 8 hours?
Oh yeah, they were like, it almost certainly was that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then the doctor was also like, you're in too good of shape for me to ever think that you'd have a blood clot. So it's a good thing you came in because I would have. I didn't even have any symptoms other than it being sore. They're like, usually your leg is distressed and your veins are showing your skin and it's warm. They're like, you don't have any of that. You just have the pain. So it's
crazy.
Yeah.
Good Lord. The body is a miracle. Thank God it was. That I'm so afraid of, but I think thankfully I'm so antsy on a plane that I would never be in jeopardy of sitting the whole time.
Yeah. I don't know what came over me. I don't know why I did that.
You were like, I'm just going to raw dog this flight.
Basic. And if I need to make it wetter, I will.
I've got hot sauce.
Yeah, I got hot sauce. I can do that.
I've got.
What were you going to say? I interrupted you.
Oh, no. I just, something about, every once in a while, if I buy a plane ticket too late and I can only get middle or window, which rarely happens, but does every once in a while, I'm just the annoying person who's like, we all have to get up now.
Yeah.
For the third time this flight.
Yeah. I you know what I'm doing now? If I sit at the window, when everyone sits down and I have people's attention, I'm going to reach into my bag, take out my big water bottle and just drink a bunch of it. So everyone knows he's going to have to get up at some point. I'm going to set the tone before we even take off. I'm going to have to get up at some point. So don't fall asleep. Don't get comfortable.
We're not sleeping on this flight, everybody.
You saw how much water I just drank. That's 32 ounces. I'm going to have to go at least twice.
Chugged it.
Yeah. So
put some like electrolyte powders in. Be like, I'm extra hydrated.
Yeah. And then after I drink this water bottle, I then take out the other water bottle that I bought from the newsstand and I fill it up so they know he's going to be drinking on this flight.
He's going to be drinking. He's going to stay drinking on this whole flight.
So if I have that same problem of like, had to book my work trip too late and I can only get a window seat, y'all going to be standing up.
Two tough titties for the rest of you guys.
I'm not getting this again.
I don't care. I have definitely like tapped or like, slightly woken a person up before out of just like panic. Like you're asleep. I'm in the middle seat, but I haven't stood up in 30 minutes. I gotta get up.
Wake up. Get up.
Wake up, buddy.
Yes, this is not your bed.
Time to wake up.
Okay. The floor is closed.
Okay.
And now we will do the silent voting to determine who gets to decide who won Chefs I Prepared for You. How this works is simple. You are number 1 and I'm number 2. So we will silently hold up a finger, either the number 1 or the number 2, on who we vote should be the winner or who should get to say who the winner is. Okay. And now Bryan and Reaves are not here. And so because they're not here and I am the host, they always take the vote of the guest. So keep that in mind. Okay.
Take the vote?
They always take the vote of the guest. So whatever you vote, they're going to vote the same way. Okay.
Okay.
And that's important because one of the rules is you cannot vote for yourself. And I cannot vote for myself.
Okay. I feel like I see how this is going to go.
I don't know how elections work. So we will silently hold up our fingers and give a silent vote, and I will begin. Okay, so the silent vote has happened, and then taking into account that Reaves and Bryan would also do the same vote. So now I think I think I'm the winner of the silent vote, and now I will choose who actually won Chefs I Prepared for You, and the winner of Chefs I Prepared for You is the guest, Kate Symes. You won. Do you want to say anything? Yeah, it's you.
Did I win?
Yeah, you won.
Oh my God. I never expected this, but I hoped and prayed and dreamed.
All right.
All of my hard work paid off, is what I'm saying.
All right. That's you deserve a bag of M&Ms, which is desserts fit for a queen. We'll be right back after this.
Pod Chef.
Okay. Top Chef, Season 23, Episode 7, Desserts Fit for a Queen. Man, was there so much drama in this episode that we have to get to. But first and foremost, what did you think of this episode?
First and foremost, I loved it from top to bottom because when they started by bringing out Madison LaCroix and Craig Conover, I also watched Southern Charm, and I was like, shut up. I was just only sad that they weren't on the whole rest of the episode.
Yeah. Which is usually a thing
I loved
they
it.
do.
Yeah. I mean, I almost got the sense that Madison and Craig were not, like, equipped to be on the rest of the show. They didn't have enough food knowledge.
Potentially. But neither did a lot of the people in the second half of the episode have a lot of food knowledge.
I know, but okay, this is the other reason I loved it so much, because to watch like super fans get to experience the kitchen and eat the food, and the number of people who were like, oh my God, and the food's just as good as I thought it would be. That was very fun to watch.
When you were watching, when you heard them say, and we've invited super fans to come, were you expecting to see maybe me, Reaves, and Bryan somewhere in the background?
For a second, I was like, if they're real super fans, they would be on this show right now.
Yeah.
but I didn't see you.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. How'd
So
you miss out?
this is something. This is part of the punishment that Tom gave us because we did break one of the rules last year, and so we did have invites to come to this screening, this episode, and then he pulled it because we made a joke about his name. We said one of the rules is do not do any combination of his name that is out of order or a pun, and they had an episode where he was kicking stuff, and we're like, oh, it's Tom Colicchio, and we got a sternly worded email that came out, and so we were uninvited, and it's kind of painful because you get the app notification that your flight tickets have been canceled. It's weird that they felt the need to send that. But yeah, I the second half of this episode where they said the super fans are here, I was like, not all the super fans are there, so.
Not
all
all.
of them are there. So
Missing 3.
When was the last time you saw Top Chef before this episode?
The previous episode.
Oh, so you are watching as the season's
I'm watching. Oh,
okay,
yeah.
Okay. So you know what's going on in the season.
I sure do. I know all of it.
Okay. So
I've got favorites. I've got thoughts about Jen.
Who are your favorites?
Lawrence.
Okay.
I feel like he's a dark horse, and I feel like he's like coming up. I
want to call him Lawrence of Arabica because I think he makes good coffee.
Yeah, he's probably he does. Anthony was my early favorite.
Okay.
He's a DC boy.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna try and get him on the podcast.
Get him. Please do. He and I feel like he's strong. There's a couple who've left who I'm like, what the hell? Rhoda and Seeger.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were both strong, that I was surprised.
It was shocking that Rhoda is gone because usually the person who wins the first elimination challenge goes pretty far in the competition.
Yeah.
So to see her knocked out after winning the first 2 was like, that's interesting.
Yeah. Didn't that also happen to Kristen?
Kristen got knocked out in like right at Restaurant Wars and then came back in and won.
Yeah.
So Rhoda got knocked out.
She got knocked out early, but I feel like it's happened before. You get knocked out and you come back and win.
Yeah. I mean, if you've been keeping up with Last Chance Kitchen, she has not lost yet in Last Chance Kitchen.
Thank God. I don't watch Last Chance Kitchen for weird reasons. One, I just can't be bothered to go figure out where to watch it. Although it does kind of serve it up to me on Peacock now, and so I really don't have that excuse. Before, when they'd be like, go to the website and watch it, I'd be like, hell no, I'm not doing that. So I just am still in the habit of not watching it, but also I kind of like the surprise of whenever the person comes back. I want to be surprised. Yeah.
Well, she's doing very well. She's won 3 in a row. So
she's a beast.
Seems to be quite the problem in Last Chance Kitchen, which makes sense. She won the first 2 elimination challenges.
Yeah. Like, I'd be shocked if she is not in the final and probably, wins the whole thing. But yeah, I think Doyen, am I saying her name right?
Mm-hmm.
Doyen seems like she's got something to offer, but then kind of like she's hot and cold.
Yeah. We want to see some consistency coming out of Doyen.
Yeah.
Hasn't won an elimination challenge yet, but has placed high 3 times. 3 out of 7 times. But has placed low twice.
I know. Like, she's got, but then I also love the comeback story where some people just are kind of muddling their way through the first half and then they kind of get their voice or their bearings about them. And I mean, this season, I don't know if they're like pushing, as they do every season, like pushing the limits of like what they're going to make them do in a shorter and shorter amount of time. But I feel like I'm seeing it so much more this season because of Jen and her arm and like the woman who like freaked out in the beginning in the first episode.
Was that
Nana?
Nana? Yep, Nana.
Yeah. And that, like, there's a couple people who just cannot rise to the time constraint challenge. And it's always just a good reminder that, like, this is for top chefs, but also, like, if you're slow, get out.
Which, not to break off and talk about a different cooking show, there's a show on Netflix called 5-Star Chef, I believe, and one of the people on there, when they were going through the chefs, was they put you in a kitchen, a professional kitchen, and like they want to see how you work. And one of the chefs had a mess all over the place, and like the other 3 judges were like, "This absolutely will not stand," and like you have to go because you're making a mess while you're cooking. This is not how chefs operate. And you're like, her whole workstation was a tornado. And so they were like, get out of here. So it's like, and the time was messing with her. And I was like, man, some people really can't do the time, the pressure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think
it's a
Nana,
different thing.
Yeah. I think Nana also came from, she has a catering business. And I think we mentioned this before, that catering, you have all this time to prepare your dish to send out, when it needs to be ready. Whereas here, you're on everyone else's time.
Yeah, right. I'm sure there's some, like, you guys have probably done some analysis of like the types of chefs that win, but like, what's their experience? What types of kitchens have they been in? I mean, they need to be so well-rounded and then like really good under pressure.
We haven't done that analysis, but our rival podcast, Pack Your Knives, has definitely done that analysis. Because that's what they do. They love talking numbers, and they get guests like Buddha Lowe to come on their podcast, whatever. Yeah, whatever.
We do love Buddha, but
yeah, we do. I mean, yeah, he's great. I would love for him to come on. Tell me about your thoughts on Jen.
So, at the end of this episode, she's got her cheek is like pulling. That's Bell's palsy, isn't it?
I don't know.
Well, I am.
I thought I pulled my calf muscle when I had a blood clot.
We've established.
What do I know?
That's right. That's right. I know a couple people who've had Bell's palsy, and it's always like starts with like this like drooping of one side of your face. And so as she's talking, I felt so bad. Her husband is like getting ready to get booted off the show.
Yeah.
And he's being kind of a dick to her. And he's like, what's going on with your face? And she's like, I don't know. I'm literally having a freaking stroke here.
How about some compassion?
Yeah. But I mean, it was a very interesting, I don't know. Have we had husband, wife on the show before?
I don't think so. I think the closest was 2 people who maybe dated before who were on the show.
Yeah.
I don't think a husband and wife. Yeah.
I feel like they've done an excellent job so far of like supporting each other and not like snapping or whatever. But that was the one moment where he's like, I know I'm about to go home or probably like I'm on the chopping block, and she's trying to comfort him. And he's like, what the hell's wrong with your face? And I'm like, dude, she probably has a problem that she should go to the hospital for.
And it does get brought up at the end, and they do have that conversation. Kristen comes and talks to Justin, and I know that they're like, they want the drama of the phone call, but a part of me was when she said, do what you think is best for you, and I was like, don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say, well, I think I'm going to stay then. Don't say that. Say you're going to go home and take care of your wife, who clearly is having a problem.
Yeah. Which is the right choice, obviously. But when Kristen offered that to him, I was like, dude, what a poetic switch around. If her medical stuff wasn't so serious, if it was like, they've diagnosed it, I'm going to get better, it's fine. I think it would have been kind of crazy
to go home.
No, for him to stay. In a good way, I think it would be kind of like, all right, well, if one of us has to go home. But of course, the scenario would have to be she goes to the hospital. They immediately tell her like, oh, this is what's going on. You're going to be fine. And then she says to him, go forth and win it for both of us. But it didn't play out.
Yeah. So I know we were
I just thought it was
around.
sad that they both had to leave.
Yeah, so that's what I do think it's nice that she's got a, free come back to the show ticket she can punch. I think that's pretty cool. But I'm with you. If it wasn't a big deal, whatever, the doctor said, if it was like, oh, I just got to take this and I'll be fine. And I just got to keep taking this meds and I'll be fine. They said, I would be like, do you mind if I stay? Because I probably I'm not going to get the invite again.
Exactly. I mean, he did get voted off, but now my question is, he's like, no, I'm going to come home and we'll get you better. Does that mean he's not even going to Last Chance Kitchen?
He did, and he lost.
Oh.
He absolutely did, and he lost.
Okay, so he was still trying to stay in it,
yeah,
sort of.
Well, I think so. I think that talk happened, I think, after Last Chance Kitchen.
Oh, interesting.
I think they cut it a weird way, right? So it looks like
Gotcha.
he's just in the back, but like I think they caught him after Last Chance Kitchen and like wanted to talk to him, and he was already like, oh, I'm ready to go home. Why do you guys want me here still?
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
So we'll fast forward through this quick fire real fast. In teams of 3, the chefs had 45 minutes to create new country-style breakfast, lunch, and dinner plates inspired by Cracker Barrel's all-day menu for a sponsored challenge. We love a sponsored challenge. However, only one person from each team was allowed to cook at a time, and the winner received $12,000, not 10. And the guest judges, obviously from Southern Charm, cast members Madison LaCroix and Craig Conover. And the orange team was Lawrence, Oscar, and Sherry. The yellow team was Anthony, Brandon, and Jonathan. And the green team was Duyen, Jennifer, and Justin, with the winner being Anthony from the yellow team, who made lunch of fried green tomato and country ham sandwich with salmon roe and avocado. And Brandon made breakfast. He made eggs Benedict, rushed hash browns, and shortcut hollandaise. And Jonathan made dinner, which was smothered steak with bourbon pan gravy, which he did overcook the steak, but man, I probably would have tried the bourbon pan gravy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Elimination challenge, as we were kind of talking about the end of it, in an homage to Queen Charlotte of, was it Mecklenburg Strites, the namesake of Charlotte, North Carolina, and it's nicknamed the Queen City. And her love of decadent sweets. This was an interesting elimination challenge because I don't remember last time we got an elimination challenge where it was just make desserts and everyone had to make desserts. Usually it's like one person in a tasting menu is like, okay, I'll make the dessert, but everyone had to make something this time. So they all had to make desserts fit for a queen. And they were provided a variety of existing Southern desserts to use as inspiration. And then to increase the challenge's difficulty, the contestants were given only 3 hours to cook, which even in British baking show, they give you 4 hours minimum, basically, for their baking show stoppers. So that's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. For 60 people?
Yeah, for 60. And it was, not just 60 people. 60 super fans.
Yeah. But you think like super fans are going to be a little nicer?
No.
Honestly, no.
No. If I was there, I'd pair them up.
You would? Okay. So you wouldn't just like out of the sheer excitement of being there be like, oh my God, they tried so hard.
No, because I'm there to promote the podcast, so I'd say something that would get me on TV.
There you go.
Yeah.
Something scathing.
Yeah.
This bread pudding tastes like I ate it off the bottom of my shoe.
Yeah. This bread pudding don't taste like my mama's. That's for sure. And then they put me on the show and they're like, ain't he funny? He's got a personality. And then it's like, okay, now come watch. If you want to see more of me, come listen to Pod Chef. It's all synergy there.
Yeah, I like this plan.
So they all make their I I don't have everyone's listed dessert, but everyone goes through. There's winners and losers. A lot of the dishes, I think, some of them, like Justin's, he was using nitrogen, which when you freeze everything, you tamper down the taste of everything, which Gail points out. And then I think someone made the bread pudding was too chunky of bread pudding, which I don't know. You got to be in the mood, right? It depends on who's eating the plate, because I just went to Corona, California, and a restaurant there had bread pudding that was the size of my face, and I loved it.
Yum. Like a big hunk of bread?
It was a gigantic circular serving dish, almost like a bread pudding casserole with 2 scoops of ice cream and whipped cream on top, and I was like, the other people tried to get it, and I said, you guys aren't going to be able to finish this. You're not professional eaters. They didn't listen. They bought it anyways, and they could not finish it. I was the only one who could finish it. I said, yeah, because I'm a professional eater. You guys are playing at this foodie game, and
dabbling.
I'm here to really take in this bread pudding and give my thoughts when I post a review to my secret food review channel. So, yeah, I think you have to be in the mood for it, for bread pudding. You have to be in the, like, if you're going to make chunky bread pudding, some people are going to like it. I would like it. Other people like Tom are like, there's too much bread.
Yeah, I like a bready bread pudding too. But I do think because he made it in that very deep pan, what I was more concerned with was like the whatever you're going to get from the bottom versus the top is going to be totally different.
Yeah. Which can be a thing. It can be like too much of a crust on top, too hard.
Yeah.
Get super soft under there.
Yeah. Or maybe they were saying it wasn't like cooked enough on the bottom or something. But yeah, so much of these things is a matter of taste. Like in last week with the whole hog thing, and you've got like the whole group of, lay people or the hog people, the people who know the barbecue, and they're voting one way, and then the judges are voting opposite sometimes, or like one of the judges is voting opposite of everyone else. It's like, yeah, because sometimes you just like your ham one way and then everyone else likes it a different way.
Yeah, and the pit masters, it is kind of strange that last week for the pit masters to vote one way and the judges who are not pit masters to say, actually, we actually think differently than you on this one, actually.
Yeah.
So take that.
Yeah.
And also,
but there are times where
counts more.
Our vote counts more because we're getting paid by, whoever puts this show. Bravo. There we go. Yeah. I mean, because there are definitely things that Tom will say where I'm like, I just don't think I would. He's an expert. He's a chef. I get it. But like, it's still a matter of taste sometimes.
Yeah. I wonder if Seeger's pork loin was actually dry.
That dry. I bet it wasn't that. Sometimes they're like nitpicking, just like something. So you can tell they're like, oh, that the crispy ear or whatever it was like to die for. And like, they just have to find something wrong.
I still think the writers whisper in their ears, hey, they're talking about dry pork loin. So maybe that's something to like ding them on later on at judges' table. Just keep
You
that
think
in
they
mind.
give them ideas
I
for
think
how
they do.
to...
I think it's rigged. And I hate saying that out loud, but I think there's some chicanery happening here.
I mean, I think like they are professional eaters, but there are times when they're eating so much food so rapidly, so many different flavors, so many different things. I find it hard to believe that they're judging fairly across the whole board.
Yeah. It's probably not. So I will say this. There are times when someone goes home, you're like, really? They're going home? Right? There's spots. But because we do a fantasy league here, almost every week, the person who has the least amount of points goes home.
Okay.
Yeah. So as we follow along every week, you can kind of predict who's going to go home next based on their point total. And the person who has the lowest almost always goes home.
Okay. Yeah. I don't often think they get it super wrong. I also just think sometimes they like slam a person or their dish in ways where I'm like, doesn't seem like it was that bad. I will say even Justin's from this week, even though everyone's like, it was so bad. It was too much liquid nitrogen. It was too cold. You couldn't taste it, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. For some reason, looking at the dish, I was like, I want to try that.
Yeah.
It looked
'Cause
kind of good to me.
we eat with our eyes, so he made it look
Maybe
appealing.
that's it. Yeah.
But you might have been just like them. You take a big spoonful and you're like, I can't taste anything.
It doesn't taste like anything. Yeah. Which is sad. It had marshmallows in it. I love marshmallows.
Poor Justin. So our winner was Anthony. He made apple stack cake, apple semifreddo with apple coulis, spice cake, and apple butters, which, as a person who has a rule, when I go to a restaurant and see apple or cinnamon as a dessert, I would have loved this dessert, and I have to try it. And eliminated from the competition from competing is Justin, and let's listen to his goodbye.
Justin, please pack your knives and go.
Justin, overall, just way too cold. Couldn't taste the dish. But we'll see you in Last Chance Kitchen. You got a shot at getting back in.
Thanks, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Thanks.
Appreciate it. It's not the best feeling in the world. You're kind of numb for a second. Damn, bro.
That does not feel good.
No.
Oh my gosh, that was awful.
No.
What? No way.
It sucks leaving Jen, but she's been killing it. Hopefully this will be a little bit extra motivation to keep cooking strong. Not that she needs it, but watch out for her. Oh. All right, guys. Bye.
Take care, Jay. Take care.
See y'all. There's Last Chance Kitchen, and there's a path to work my way back up in the competition, and I'm going to do just that.
I thought that alarm, that police siren was in the clip for Jen. I thought that was coming for Jen.
Yeah, I know. They're coming for me.
So Justin's gone, and then we do get the whole, the stew room clip of Kristen coming back in and bringing them out, and I instantly thought, oh my God, they're sending. Did Jen do something that we didn't see off camera, that she didn't finish her competition properly?
Oh,
but then they were like, Restaurant War starts now, and you have to do takeout orders this time, which to me is insane.
It is insane. I mean, some of these things, they're just setting them up for full-blown failure.
Yeah.
Like, the takeout is going to be a shit show.
I hope they can do some kind of distance monitoring on the takeout and not just takeout from every single ordering app that's available.
They can't do that to them. It's going to have to be a controlled environment takeout.
I hope so. And then we get the message from the clip of Jennifer saying that her face is doing something. She's got to talk to the medic, and then we get the cutaway where Kristen talks to Justin and offers him what's that deal called? I can't remember, but a deal that's hard to turn down but also hard to accept.
Is it Sophie's Choice?
Sophie's Choice, there it is. She offers him Sophie's Choice, and he chooses to leave. So 2 people are technically eliminated. So here's my thing. Is maybe they bring back Rhoda next episode to even out the teams. Because she's won 3.
Oh, yeah. I like that prediction. I feel like this is the right time. Bring her back. Although, Restaurant Wars is the hardest challenge. And so, that's a little bit of a right back into the fire.
But Last Chance Kitchen, I think, makes people... It's almost like they're in a dojo when they're in Last Chance Kitchen. Because all they're doing is these elimination challenges. So they're refining themselves. I think that's why Kristen won her season, is because she went and found herself and her confidence in the dojo of Last Chance Kitchen.
In the dojo.
So we'll see.
I like that.
If Reaves was here, he'd give us where are they now, and we get an update on what Jennifer and Justin are up to right now. So we'll have to wait till next week to hear that.
Okay.
But Kate, what a pleasure. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me, finally.
I'm sorry you couldn't get the full podcast experience of having the boys here, but, there's always time in the future to come back and be on the pod.
I think this
sure
just
that they're
means
here.
you're required to have me back.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Well, let's see. I think you and I have a show on Thursday, but when does this podcast come out?
Tomorrow morning.
Hey.
Yeah, wait.
We have a show on Thursday that's sold out, so don't come. My plugs are amazing. I have another show that's also sold out. This is making it sound like all I do is sell out shows. But I don't know. Come see me in Chicago. Everyone come visit me in Chicago starting June 1.
June 1. So you heard it here. She's selling out shows in D.C., and thus now she has to go to Chicago because the theaters are bigger.
They're bigger.
Thank you so much for coming on this week. It was a blast. I'll be sure to talk to Bryan about his voicemail. And until next time, we're going to pack our knives and go.